In this video, I'm gonna capture the process of planning the user story. Let me briefly explain what do you see right now on the screen. On the left-hand side, you see the app started locally here, and the app is wrapped with a special development tool. All the titles are in Russian, but don't worry, I'll continue using this and I'll add a couple of things in English. So here you could see 5 scenarios. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, this is the file system of the project. And here you could see exactly these scenarios, but their IDs, the file names are in English. So let's add another one. This is a JavaScript file, but the content is in YAML. And we are going to add a new user story. New customer joins. I'm not sure why did I use dashes. Let's leave just regular sentence with spaces. New customer. So let's also remove everything we have here and assume a URL. Sign up. Sign up form. Right? Now, nothing is happening there because this tool is implemented using a code generation. This is not necessary, and it is planned to be redesigned, but now you see it automatically refreshed, and now we see the new journey. New customer joins, and we see a form. And what do we see here? 4 or 4. Let me recall how was it implemented. All right, there was one moment. Right, I've just referenced the definition and I recall this mock operation. So I can generate a basic React view that I can edit and a basic SCSS file. So let's call it somehow sign up. Then, all right, this was the technical part and technical demo. Now let's think of what we are doing. By the way, done. This is a checklist that I show here. It shows the amount of work done. And the lowercase means not done. So let's leave everything as it is. No worries that we have an error on that page. We should focus on the user journey. So when the user signs up, very likely there will be some process of email confirmation. That's first. And also we are going to add the sign-up forms on landing pages. That means the credentials, the new user credentials could come to us from the outer website, and then we show the page kind of signed up. And here we have 2 different options. We could implement the very first version without email confirmation, without phone confirmation, and think about this separately, because every confirmation is is a problem, is an extra action for the newly coming customer, and maybe we don't need to do that at this stage. Maybe we want to capture our new customers, right? But also maybe we want to protect access to our database here. We sell our knowledge and database in this particular project. Let me bypass the explanation of for now of what we are selling there. So that's the first option, to implement all the stuff right now. But actually, I haven't decided what kind of confirmation do we need. And that means the smart would be the option two is to skip everything that is not decided. So let's assume right after signing up and filling up the register form, the form itself will contain all the necessary error messaging. And the next step, we are inside the app welcome page. And this is not just welcome. This product is about, all right, it's difficult to explain this product, but it's easy to explain the flow I'm going to do now. When you register with this product, you want to connect your cutting plotter. That's the purpose of this product. And you want to cut a couple of our shapes from our library, and that's the purpose of the product. We have that library, and people need that library, and we are about to charge for access there. However, right now for the newcomers, we have everything free. Just test it. Maybe we will have some rate limitations, like you cannot cut too many templates per hour or something like. So sign up. So the next screen is a kind of onboarding. I don't know, will it remain like this, or maybe I'll split it up into several screens. Also, I recommend doing this actually using a paper. I'm doing this straight in the YAML. YAML is not a regular code. It is human readable. It's designed to be human friendly, so it's kind of note taking, but these notes are machine readable. So, however, I recommend do everything offline, every thinking process offline, and then just work with details on your computer. So, onboarding. Mock will be called as onboarding, and the checklist is reset. Onboarding. What's inside about the onboarding? We wanna connect the plotter, or let the person choose a mock dummy virtual plotter if they don't have the actual plotter connected to that very machine where they've signed up. And actually, this is an idea that we better start capturing, right? And that means we need that mock for purpose. I'm regenerating. That's why I'm using code generator, because we are creating and deleting files. Here you could see it is not actually deletes files. It marks that we don't need this. I'll delete them. So sign up, it's pretty simple and straightforward thing. You will have a basic form. So let's focus on the difficult part. Onboarding, what we are gonna have here. First, just a capture. So add plotter. Before adding plotter, some explanations, quick brief explanations. Then this add plotter, add we have only 2 steps here, right? We connect your plotter here, and right after that, you could start cutting. So probably select the template. That's interesting. How do we call it in English? I have only a Russian name for this, but we are going to extend to other markets. So let's call it template. Select the template to cut and cut, right? So if we show this thing, I'm missing the ability to draw here. So if I had a paper, and that's by the way the idea, I can draw on a paper, I can scan or take a photo of the drawing and insert it here. And that will be a prototype. After that, I could ask the designer to do that, or if we have a Spartan design like this, I can just compose it from the Bootstrap components. In this particular product, we use the Bootstrap as a component visual framework, the Bootstrap library. So, is our customer happy here? Maybe. And what's going on when the first page is cut? The next step is probably to start using that ordinary, or the customer want to add more offices. And how important is that? I think it is very unlikely that this is important. And add users offices, or add more plotters. Can we skip these steps from the onboarding and let the user do that ad hoc using the regular navigation? I think yes, I think we have. So we need something like congratulations here. And we are done. After that, we have to redirect the user to the place where it could be cut. The place looks like this. We have a preview, not real in my local version, but it is preview. And we have a big button to start cutting. Then that means we need only 2 pages. However, the onboarding page is more complex than that. All right. Anyway, at some point we have to verify the email, or yes, we have to verify the email, because the account will be paid, and if someone has mistyped in their email and then they pay to us, they will lose access to the account, and that's bad. So we need a couple of more pages. The first page is that the registration is successful, and another is that what? Another is that the email is confirmed. Do we need a separate page? The email is confirmed, or will it be just a bubble during the onboarding? Because when we followed the email confirmation link, we could automatically log in that user. I know some companies use that method as the only way of authentication. So we don't need that, right? Then I'm going to delete this. Registration is successful is a simple text page, so I don't want to mock it. As for the other things like login, reset password, we should already have that because we had users before. Those users were only created by our administrators previously, and now we are opening the demo version. Right, and that's interesting. So I've defined the onboarding. Should I define the demo version differences? What will go on after that? I think no. That's rather about specs, or maybe I should. Let's bypass if that's not obvious. So we have sign up, we have onboarding, and the onboarding is the most complex thing. However, I've imagined the structure, right? So what will we do after that? Connect plotter. Probably that's about tabs. Let's try tabs, or not tabs. Stepper, right? Stepper. I haven't found stepper, but these will work fine for prototyping. So this is our draft. Copy those, copy, paste class name. Notice that good ID converts the formats. So the first step is to connect the plotter. The second step is to select the template and actually we will have there a big button cut. So the cut will go there. So we could combine this. Run the test cut. Perform or do or whatever. What we have. Connect plotter, runs the test code, and this is our current. Card or what? Card, yes. And it is more complex than that. I don't need all these details. Much. We have a card here, card title, so on, so on. So let's add better visual. how to connect the plotter, right? This is actually a 0-step process. So first, download install the app. Here goes the link to the app and some instructions regarding how to set it up. Right, and the next step that will load automatically the moment the app is installed. That's the of printers, because it detects all the printers and show you, and you could choose which one is the plotter. I'll skip this part during this recording, but apparently this has to be a table with the ability to select the particular device, etc. So this also, there are states, for example, list of the printers appears here when the app is installed and running, the local app, the agent app. Install the agent app, select the plotter, so list of the printers when successful. Here's something like start. What's problem is here? We cannot do that, right? Yes, when we plan the user journey, we first plan the perfect thing. So you download the necessary thing, and then you see something right here automatically that doesn't confuse you. However, the app is the same for all the users, and when you first run it, we should either ask your password. That's not so good UX, or we should transfer the information between the app and the browser somehow. For example, from the app, we can open a link in the browser. Also, in the app, we could open a local port, and from the browser, attempt to connect the local port. Very likely this will collide with the security policies of the browser. If not these days, then in the future. So this is unsafe. But the links will work. The links should work perfectly. So when we navigate back from the app, we should receive here something like these things are called sessions. Session ID. I don't remember the convention here. Session ID or session ID. Let's see. This something like that. And so we will have two windows. Well, maybe this windows. All right, and that means not waiting. That means when you connect the plotter, download. I see, that's the step. Maybe we should expose it. What I forgot that if we choose to use the virtual plotter, we don't have to install the app. That means we cannot show the install the app as a separate step, right? We promise the result in the step, connect the plotter. Then, we want to show two options here. We will design this separately. Use a virtual plotter to just test this. As the product. Option 2. And this install the app will go, sorry, we'll go separately. Then install the agent. Install. This version. So here, if the app is not connected, if we don't have the session ID, we could show the instructions linked to that and some instructions. All right. And when connected, we show list of printers right here. Maybe the text will go below this. We will polish this when we will work on the screens in details. The list of printers. So now I understand the flow. The purpose of this video was not to show you how to implement something, whatever. The purpose of this video was to demo how I design the flow. Of course, in real life, it usually takes communication with others, drawing on paper, etc. On different products, I'll involve the designer to participate, but probably at a later stage. I need to understand, as a product, I need to understand all the constraints first, and all the constraints produce the scenario based on those constraints, and then UX designer could suggest to update or replace something completely, but he will be aware what actions should we perform. The designer could only suggest to do this in a different order, to visualize them differently, whatever. But they do not know what do we need to perform. That's a product responsibility, product role. And this role could be on the same person as a developer. So where we are, connect the plotter. We have two options here. We have two states for the second option. We understand how the states will be switched by the session ID. This, okay, this is not captured anyhow. So this should be clear enough. when session ABC, then list the printers. The available printers to ask which one is the plotter. Maybe highlight the printer that is recognized to very likely be a plotter. What's next? Next is that the person connects the plotter, and there we have actually two options. Right. First, we are certain about the model of the process. And another, we are not. And maybe that should be on the next step, at the next code. A drop down. Now we have drop downs in Bootstrap. I'll edit it later. A drop down to select the set, like graph tag or camel. If we cannot recognize the model of the plotter. And otherwise, we have to choose what to cut. Right. And here we have two options. Again. Cut the test file or select the template you want. I don't want to implement any JavaScript logic here, so I'll just have them both here. That means I can have more mocks, even though this will be implemented as a single component, or maybe as lots of components where every option needs its own implementation. I don't know yet. The mock structure could be different, could be detached. So yes, if this is a demo, let me do that. Onboarding, connect. Let's skip the article, onboarding, cut, test cut, or first cut. No, test. Test is better. Onboarding, test. Registration is successful. So I run the code again. Then I go cut this. had this state. Other page. And I see the preview. So this is the first page. I should probably have a link there, but right now this is not necessary. Run the cast. And I can progress and iterate on this. Test cut the test file, kind of a button. The test file or select the template you want. If we're talking about the select the template, then we have a header here. The header is shared. Let's share layout. That's our plotter. We can choose one. This is our user. And awesome. Let's React hot reload. Connect test cut. How will we select? How does the cutter currently do that? Choose the brand, Apple. Choose the model, phone, iPhone X, iPhone 10. And we are here. So here, we could have a link. This deserves to be designed separately. Select the template you want and link there. So as a user, I'm signing up, I'm filling up this form, and then I do know probably I validate my email. I have no mark for this. Then I see the onboarding page, and I'm about to connect my plotter. Let's go remove this. Congratulations. Should be on the last page. If we do a test cut. By the way, this is an interesting thing. We have to capture this because right now we're just showing the status. And this is not going to be a paragraph. This is going to be a pop-up. I think the cheapest way to implement this. But if the user has chosen cut test file, then we can show the congratulations. Or otherwise, on the first successful cut, we could show the congratulations box, regardless of where we are. Delete this. All right, select the template you want, link. Will that work? Will that work? Will that work? Explanations, connect the plotter. Use a virtual. Click and I go next, or connect my real plotter. The link, the instruction, I download it, I start it, I open the link there, I see the list of my printers here. Then I choose one of them and click there. and I go to the next tab. Here, if the system is not certain about the model of that printer, I'm about to select, is it a GraphTech or Camel, or whatever we will support at the moment. And then we have this test cut. Maybe there will go some text, some welcoming text, and so on, so on, so on. Yes, and a box, congratulations, or the link to that very interface, because the plotter is already here, so we can quit the onboarding process, enter here, and follow the regular process. Browse the library. And I've just realized the interesting thing. So what if the user do not want to do the onboarding? All right. Then, and if we use a virtual plotter, we don't need to run the test cut. Yes, that completely changes things here. So connect my real plotter. And here goes a magic link. Browse the library. This will, and let's go it simpler. And if we have no water register, then what did I miss? Anyway, I'll return to this. Then, oh, right, register. Then assume we have a right, and that means we need a separate page, one more page, not a page but a pop-up. Virtual print. This is not a real URL, this is a pop-up, so we will have it like this, and we need a mock. Print. Then let's generate one. Modal. Can I show it statically? Static backdrop, scrolling, vertical uses a grid. All the interesting features. However, I have no bootstrap JavaScript here. I only use its CSS part in this project. So that should be like, I don't remember. Will that help? Kind of. That's enough for my purpose.
So I've interrupted. Let's continue. Cat is successful. Here. Why isn't it rendered? Because I have never switched there. I see. So we have this basic pop-up, and we show here some text about the plotter is virtual to connect your real device. Please do something like click here. Please go here. Or I don't know, do we actually need this here, or maybe we should align them differently? Connect the real plotter, close. Close is the default action here. Because if you do this, maybe even like that. Close, connect the real plotter, so that so we don't need the concept of a virtual plotter, right? Because all we have to do is assume that the plotter is always there. We should demo how the plotter selector will look like, what it will look like for the case when there is no physical plotter. Maybe we should say here, no plotter connect, or so this should become a button. No plotter, you click there, you go to the plotter connection wizard. All right, so what if? Oh, this is interesting. I cannot close, so that's because we have some coverage there. How can we remove that? Awesome. Position static. That's what we need for our mocking purpose, and everything works well. So let's go here. connect the plotter. So if no plotter is connected, then we always on the attempt to connect the plotter redirect the person here. It is not necessary to be called as onboarding. Onboarding is rather the internal term. We better, I don't know how to call it better, and that's not important. We could polish the look later. The most important part is the flow itself, to design the perfect flow, and the details. The details will be improved many times. All right, virtual print. We say cut is successfully. You would start, and let's remove the mention of a virtual plotter, as we have no such thing as a virtual plotter. And the word real makes no sense in this case, and we remove it. Connect the plotter, close. Cut is successful. Cut. Set. Nautical. So back, sign up. Then probably validate our email. And then we are redirected to the onboarding. Yeah. And we are at the connect the plotter stage. This stepper, the purpose of the stepper is to make it feel simple. So we don't need it from the purpose of navigation, right? So do not connect. This is the first option. Then connect my real plotter. I don't know how to organize this. This will be done. The important thing right now is to understand that we have both options here. So we can say like just browse. I don't know how to design this. This deserves a separate approach to to think about. Now I thought I meant to add a button here, but I have no idea. Browse a library. We could add a link here. To show that we need some control here. Browse the library. Connect my real plotter when mousing the app and some instructions. Maybe we could add very extensive instructions, but they shouldn't be scary. So we could hide them and have a button show more. Then when we have a session in the URL, then we list all the printers found in that session, or an error message if something is wrong with that session, but not 404, because this is not the whole page. We need a distinct message that we have no such session. Please click the link from the agent tab. Again, what's next? Yes, we have a plotter here. So here we leave the screen, and the only way to go further is to select a plotter. We click select this plotter and we go to the next page. And here we could either ask for a model or perform a test code or follow the same link as before to enter the library. The onboarding screen should have no global navigation. We should quit from it only through the link to the library, and then we will start seeing everything as usual. Maybe we only have to show the profile and the exit button and this and the logo. Sounds like a plan. Simple enough. Sometime soon we will add here the information about the payment plans premium, but it is not a part of the onboarding anyway. It will be included in the emails, maybe next to the profile, because we have to show the plan and the options available here next to the current user. So that's pretty much of it. We can continue with further implementation or utilization of this, depends on the process. In my case, I'll design the particular screens and then we'll do the implementation. But that's all. That's all about planning the customer journey.